Each year, the Pepperdine Volunteer Center assigns the executive board members to do a research project on a variety of topics. This year, our topic was mentoring and tutoring. We wanted our research to directly apply to our ongoing programs, so we started by working with Jennifer and Suji and College Connection. We have some key findings from research that can be applicable to College Connection. In regards to informal mentoring, it is the majority of mentoring relationships. It can be beneficial because high school students might not accept being given an official mentor who's a Pepperdine student. The relationship can form first on tutoring and then naturally evolve into a more interpersonal connection. Another key finding was centered on cross-cultural or gender differences. Cross-cultural matches are more common. It's the responsibility of a mentor to remain culturally competent and to see their mentee as an individual. Research by Ensher and Murphy found that mentee satisfaction of a mixed ethnic mentor relationship was actually higher when the mentees perceived similarities on other factors. It is important to be aware that gender inherently matters. Girls were found to have longer and more emotional mentoring relationships than boys, and cross-gender boundaries are important to establish. Our research on training and commitment requirements have found that cross-cultural trainings are vital and should be initial and ongoing. Tutor training is primarily academic. Training best practices include helping with lesson plans, modeling correct teaching techniques, providing performance feedback to the tutors, and guiding the tutors' pacing decisions in the classroom. Many other universities, like Loyola Marymount and Stanford, have training available in their volunteer centers. With the mentoring commitment, the duration of relationships is more important rather than tutoring. Comprehensive training would also educate mentors on the importance of commitment and the effect that a secure commitment may have on a mentee. A theme that rose through our research on mentoring and tutoring is the need for training. We focused on 3 specific training needs that we discovered through our research. The first was the need for classroom management training in our tutoring programs, which includes School on Wheels, Language Connection, Camp Miller, Camp David, and America Reads. Within the classroom management training, our research supported the importance of emphasizing developmentally appropriate materials and cultural awareness. Within the PVC as a whole, we recognize the importance of including a cultural awareness training at the beginning of the year in the all-staff training. Training in understanding and being sensitive to culture would benefit the PVC as a whole, and individuals would be able to implement their learning into each program. The third training need that we recognized through this research project is how to be a successful mentor training. We hope to formalize the mentoring process and create tracks for volunteers. For the more involved volunteers, we hope to create workshops where they will learn how to become more effective in their mentoring role. Findings from our research project suggested that the most successful mentoring relationships require time to develop. Time investment is key to successful mentoring relationships. In the PVC, we often struggle to find consistent, committed volunteers for our programs. How can we change this? How can we make formal mentoring relations the norm? We identified 2 ways we can create change. First, time commitment requirements. We have identified programs that would benefit from a time commitment. Programs like Camp Miller, Camp Gonzalez, School on Wheels, and Transitions would be those programs because they focus on interpersonal relationships. We hope to set semester time commitments for mentoring programs and include these requirements in the program guide that will be given to the new program coordinators next year. For example, Camp Miller requires 2 hours per week for a semester. In order to enforce these time commitments, we would encourage program coordinators to have consequences for inconsistent volunteers. Volunteers who do not come consistently will not have priority placement at volunteer opportunities. Inconsistent volunteers in programs where time commitment is essential will be dropped as volunteers after missing a significant number of volunteer opportunities. Then we want to guarantee that volunteers are well trained so that they can be effective mentors. First-time volunteers will be paired with experienced volunteers for their first few volunteer opportunities. Coordinators will provide some orientation or training ahead of time. And finally, returning volunteers, especially service leaders, will have opportunities to receive additional training. After researching these topics, we noticed that mentoring is an integral part of Pepperdine. Several organizations on campus participate in mentoring both formally and informally. All Greek organizations have some mentoring element through the big-little relationship when younger students are mentored by older group members. The Career Center also has a formalized professional mentoring program. Aside from these formal organizations, the culture of the school is one that fosters mentor relationships. It is not uncommon for professors or staff to invite classes into their homes to share a meal and learn more about their lives outside of the classroom. In a small school setting, these kinds of relationships not only provide students with valuable professional networking connections, but also help guide them through their 4 years at Pepperdine and even their postgraduate careers. As mentoring is such a natural part of Pepperdine's internal culture, it only makes sense that we look at bringing this same mentality to many of our programs in our office in the Volunteer Center. We decided that we want to establish more ways to create informal mentoring relationships in the PVC. Through our research, we found that mentoring relationships in the PVC can be enriched through stronger emphasis on purpose and values as they relate to one's personal goals and service. We felt that these personal goals can be met through a comprehensive process of developing mission statements for individual student workers. Creating a personal mission statement is necessary to better understand personal service goals, encourage volunteers, and relate to the organizational views of our PVC partners. The development process involves looking at the mission statements of partner organizations or other sources of inspiration for specific values. It also involves understanding how the missions align all the members of the PVC. This alignment could be reached with the help of service interns and executive board members through facilitation of discussions about mission statements. Staff at each level will act as mentors to help enrich mission statements and check student progress and goal development. By developing a mission statement, the staff are able to be guided in a positive direction that lives out the values of the PVC. The mission statements can be used as tools to motivate staff and create a mutually beneficial environment. The creation of the mission statements would be successful through the use of proven academic approaches to mission development. Each member of the PVC would use a wholesome approach to missions through trainings, workshops, and meetings. Mission statements that they create will be designed to be updated, refocused, and transformed to meet the changing needs of the individual staff members. The staff would also participate in ongoing discussions about the PVC's mission. This would be necessary for the staff to reach a better understanding of the PVC values. Students would engage in discussions about learning outcomes and personal opinions on the PVC mission. We hope that through our research, our project will bring positive change to the PVC environment and foster mentoring relationships for the coming years. Thank you.